Alright, here we go. This is a ranked 2v2 on Sandrim between the blue team in the upper left-hand corner, Hugot in the Black Ops Helix, and his teammate, ThaKillerB in the Classic Helix, and their opponents, the orange team, Carbon team, in the bottom right-hand corner, Extremophile in the Classic Bomber, and Shanow in the Envision Osprey. So Helix, I just did a game with Helix versus non-Helix. But this time it is on Sandrim, and Sandrim has been changed just like the rest of the maps where the neutral outposts have brutes in them, but this will change Sandrim dramatically more than the other maps because the center island now has brutes in these infantry slots, and that will take a lot more time to actually grab that outpost than normal circumstances. We'd have Shanow doing a little bit of bear trap defense on the top outpost, and immediately we have Extremophile going with some jumpers for this left outpost, but we already have flamers bunkered by ThaKillerB, so this probably won't go down to neutral, and ThaKillerB missing with a lot of his rockets really needs to circle around and get kind of in the way, or not let his outpost get in the way of him and Extremophile. We do have Shanow here with more jumpers to support, and they have been able to neutralize this outpost, but will they be able to get under their control? One flamer is down, the jumpers are still alive. Now we do have Hugot coming with support, does have some creeps, and will this outpost go to the Carbon team? No, the jumpers have been killed, and the blue team has been able to fend off the attack for now. But both of the mechs are still here. We do have ThaKillerB coming with some flamers to retake this outpost under the control, and with flamers in those bunkers, or in those infantry slots, instead of normal soldiers, it will be much harder to get neutralized and cheesed. So we will pretty much have a standard game starting here. But what is standard on Sandrim nowadays? Because the middle outpost, the island, is significantly different. We do have ThaKillerB with some flamers going to go for. Looks like he's going to go for a little bit of moneymaker harass with flamers. Oh, that one sitting right here was a little bit strange. But he did place two of them right next to outposts, or not right next to outpost moneymakers. And we have Hugot actually pushing up on the rocks on the orange side, on the Carbon side, which is kind of interesting. Typically, you do see the you see the left side pushing the bottom left rocks and the right side pushing the top right rocks. But we do have ThaKillerB still distracting both of these mechs, and Extremophile not really doing anything very productive. Does have a seeker coming out, will be able to eventually ward away ThaKillerB, but needs another one. Not trying to bomb him down or anything, but does he even have bombs? He does have bombs in his abilities already upgraded, and ThaKillerB trying to run away will probably be finished finally here. The entire time Hugot has been building up an army sitting over here at the rocks, and finally ThaKillerB does go down, but Hugot now has a lot of Gemini sitting over here, and they will eventually break the rocks. The Carbon team is completely unaware that this is happening, really. Oh, and they're actually going with the opposite side rocks push as well, but these rocks are now finally dead. Carbon, one of the Carbon devs, DevKen, actually did respond to my question on the forums, and that rocks are 75 armor and 20k health, I think. Gotta double check that post, but I'm pretty sure that was the numbers. But the blue push is now here, moving out toward the Carbon fort. Will this actually be able to deal the killing blow? And the Carbon team now does see an Extremophile trying to bomb down what he can, but it's not really going to get too far, especially at a really low-level bomb. And now they are trying to mount a defense here. Will we see some micro? We do see ThaKillerB. He did notice this this cluster right here, but Hugot is not microing his units. So the Carbon team kind of gets to destroy a completely large clump right here. Kind of all at once, and Extremophile almost going down to the flackers does survive that attack. This cluster of tanks and seekers has not been killed quite yet, but because they passed by this outpost, Hugot able to neutralize that outpost, and a creep will finally make its way in. Blue team grabbing that right outpost under the control. And we are seeing a counter push by the Carbon team, which is kind of to be expected. Hugot now moving some creeps out, or like bring some creeps out. I guess he was eventually going to bunker them, but now dropping some Gemini in defense for that outpost. But now we have ThaKillerB finally taking on the tanks over here. A lot of them are smoking black, so he probably will be able to finish them off before that line gets to the fort. And now this counter push is not switched to T, it was on Y, so it's not going to get us around on this outpost. Okay, now they do switch it on T, and Hugot now supporting ThaKillerB to take out this line of Longhorn, this very, very small line of Longhorn reaching their fort. And now we have kind of reset. The Carbon team having a good surround on this right outpost. Blue team not socketing moneymakers here. The Carbon team not socketing moneymakers here, but they do have moneymakers socketed here. The blue team has a tech pod over here with a seeker in protection, so that's pretty good. That's a very good. That's a nice setup there, I would say. It will keep that tech pod alive for a little bit longer on that socket, and the seeker protecting will deter direct mech harass. Although I don't know for how long. You might still be able to snipe it as a mech, and ThaKillerB taking out a moneymaker right there. And another push, another tank push out here by Hugot. And all the rocks have been killed, so this will go directly for the Carbon Fort. We do have another tank cluster over here on the right side by Extremophile. Let's see how far he actually gets with that. And ThaKillerB, going down to Shanow after all that harass. He was able to just kill one moneymaker, I think. This one was probably killed during that blue tank push. And this line of Gemini and Dillos and actually a bunch of stuff, a couple healing units and a couple of Seekers as well, making their way toward the Carbon Fort. The Carbon team actually making a unit cluster themselves. I think they're going to send that out as well. They have not detected this push down here on the bottom, but they are about to send this cluster here at the top, or not the top, on the right side. And now finally we do have Extremophile does notice it and has some Seekers in queue with Moneymaker, so that's definitely not good for this defense. ThaKillerB with a goalie, gonna drop that on the corner, I would assume. Yes, but it's not actually gonna fire at the corner, will it? I don't know if that's actually hitting the corner. When will they send this out? Oh, a couple of these Longhorn are moving out, but now we have the rest of the units reaching the Carbon Fort. Will they be able to actually defend against this? The blue team is not really here to micro that much around. Hugot does, he puts this goalie here on the front. And okay, now this unit cluster is moving out, and Hugot going down to a Hunter Seeker. Not much, actually, that much left here for the blue team, and you know, ThaKillerB is the only one left alive, and putting two goalies on the corner, so this will actually do a pretty good amount of damage if the Carbon team does not get blocking off, and they're actually not for the most part. This line of units is still moving their way toward the blue fort, and the blue team does not see it at all. Is it on their mini-map? No, it's not. So now Hugot here to support his units. I think he brought another tank. Now starting to get a good micro. The blue team's almost been able to get this finish on the Carbon team, but the Carbon team doing a pretty good job actually defending and blocking and getting their you know, the blue units killed. And now this Longhorn line is starting to reach this blue fort. Oh man, will the blue team actually come back to respond? ThaKillerB now does come back, does realize that, but he's out of energy, so he's moving back very, very slowly. Hugot again with a Longhorn here, but this unit cluster doing so much damage to the blue fort. Will Hugot be able to get this finished? This Goliath just needs to be microed really, really well, and ThaKillerB trying to get a block, just one goalie out. It's not going to be enough, and Hugot not going to be able to get penetrated with that the goalie drop on the bottom, and that's going to be it. The Carbon team getting the finish on the blue team. Wow, wow, wow. Hugot and ThaKillerB going down to Extremophile and Shanow here on this ranked 2v2 on Sandrim. Oh, man. The blue team almost had it there. They didn't really do enough micro, in my opinion, during those first two pushes, well, those two pushes, the two major pushes that they did to the Carbon Fort. The first one definitely could have done a lot more damage. The second one, you know, Hugot went down, he got killed, or no, I think ThaKillerB got killed first, and then Hugot got killed. So they didn't really get the surround that they could have got. And if they did, they might have been able to actually get the finish on the Carbon team right there at the end, before the Carbon team got the finish. I mean, they didn't even have to do anything. They just sent and defended, and that number of Longhorn with no response, no scouting, they were not able to actually detect it and put a defense down in time. That one goalie was definitely not enough, and the Carbon team getting this win over the blue team in this game. So, guys, tournament, March 29th. I'm saying it after every single video. That's because I want you to watch and enjoy AirMech competition. AirMech's going to be the next big esport, I'm pretty sure. I mean, after we get all the balance issues worked out and all that stuff. But yeah, March 29th, AirMech Double Kill Tournament, hosted and presented by Grizzly Wing on my channel and Steve's channel as well, OPTV Live. Make sure to give my video description a look. Click those links. Lots of good stuff. Insomniac 311 with AirMechOutpost.com. Another really good resource for AirMech players out there. So be sure to support the AirMech community. And once again, Double Kill Tournament, March 29th. All right, guys, this is RUI, and that is game. See you next time.